I've been following your podcast. It is my shortcut to get learning from all other founders.
I'm really excited to have this conversation for two reasons. Number one, I love food, obsessed with it. And secondly, I love robots.
We have a dining table which cook. So basically, you sit on the table and say, I want this, and it will prepare your food and serve it to you. I grew up in my village. We had a old style chulha where cooking used to get done. Right?
Right.
So
Your machine right now, it's majorly making curries, right? So we've
curries,
also,
sabjis, rice dishes, dals,
hmm,
pastas, different type of stews, soup, chow
hmm.
mein, appetizers, all that it can make. We
So
get
right now you
a
have 1,000 units already deployed with real customers and you're getting real-time feedback from them.
Yeah,
Right.
I remember our first prototype was like almost 3 feet by 3 feet. So like it was a huge. People used to
Wow.
like where we were in a co-working space, and people used to believe that we are building satellite.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I always believe that if you are building hardware, you get orders before you have solution, right? So uh, you should be able to sell before you build. These are the grant we got. So we got a lot of government support to build this company. I would say close to 1 CR we got
Hmm.
through various government schemes,
Nice.
right? So thankfully, due to grants and stuff, we had always money for the proto. We didn't have
Right.
money for salary. Our rule right now also
Okay.
that you call them before they do puja at their office, right? Like the guy owner will go do the puja once he reach the factory. Before that, you have to call him. We have 35 people in our team right now, and we have two chefs and two home chefs. Our manufacturing final assembly happen in a AC factory. It's an air
Hmm.
conditioner factory
So
with
how many
35
vendors?
vendors.
Yeah.
35 vendors.
Oh, wow. Very interesting. So it's about managing all these vendors and the timelines.
Yeah.
All right. Any advice?
I would say travel, see the world.
Hmm.
Go to China, go to US, go to Europe. Like see the world, see their factories, see their warehouses.
Hi, Yatin. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm really excited to have this conversation for two reasons. Number one, I love food, obsessed with it. And secondly, I love robots. So I think this conversation is going to be great. And it's great to meet you as well. So let's see where this
Definitely,
conversation unlocks.
yeah, definitely, Supriya. I have been following you, and I've been following your podcast. It is my shortcut to get learning from all other founders. So thanks for hosting me, and it's my pleasure to be on the podcast.
Great. Good to know. So if you can just give me a gist about why cooking robots.
Yeah, so uh, I think so. Uh, there's a long story, but if I had to shorten it up, it's like this, right? So, me and my wife both living in Bangalore, but we are Gujjus, and we wanted a Gujju food in Bangalore, which was a tough
Okay.
challenge. Then we are not able to find right cook who can cook as per our taste. So, I being coming from robotics, one day I thought, why can't I solve this problem? Right? Why can't build
Mm-hmm.
a robot which will cook for us? So
Okay.
that's the curiosity it started with. Obviously, it evolved over time. We talked, but that is how it got started. Like that was the seed thought that got it.
Oh, okay. And where do you see cooking robots, like, 10 years to 20 years down the line? What do you see them doing in our kitchens? Do you see our kitchens evolve into something that we haven't been building right now as? Or what is your vision? Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely what we believe, right, is that entire cooking can be automated, right? Uh, and this is enabled by the new age uh, VLM models, right, which we are building. So
Hmm.
essentially, the cooking use like everyone tries to automate cooking from the industrial era of 1.0, right? So in history 1.0, people started to automate the cooking. The real challenge was how do you make a judgment because uh, ingredient come from nature and you can't really say that this ingredient in this much time it will get done, right? So if you see the entire factory, food factory, let's say Lay's or any other factory you take in, right? So
Hmm.
they do is they those particular type of ingredients, right? So they say, I will buy potato which has this kind of starch content, this kind of water content, and then it will go in my machine and it will make the chip, right? So that is the one barrier that was there in automated industry, and slowly that is coming down, right? And we are actually working on bringing it down. So uh,
Hmm.
in 20 years, what we believe is like you will uh, one imagination which I have is you have a dining table which cook. So basically, you sit on the table and say, "I want this," and it will prepare your food and serve it to you, right? So um, broadly, the technology is there. It's think we are 60% there, 40% evolution has to happen, and building adoption that has to happen, right? So uh,
Hmm.
in in the food robotics, there is another part, right? So how you build the adoption for your robot, that has been the one of the
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I think the more accessible and the more affordable we are able to make it, the more
Mm.
adoption kind of comes into picture.
That's true. Partly, I would say, right?
Hmm.
Partly it is about the mind barrier, right? Like saying that um, will I accept food cooked by a robot, right? Like something like that, right? And
Hmm.
so that is a major barrier. And
Right.
personally, I believe it is other way, right? It has to become cool to host a robot, so it has to be costly at start, and then
Right.
eventually price has to come down, right? So it
Yeah,
has to
that's there
be,
with every technology, I guess.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
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 yeah. It's like how we adopted, like, first our grandparents and parents used to cook, and then we adopted like a professional cook coming home and cooking for us. And then that adoption was like a bit difficult because people love, homemade cooked by their own parents or their grandparents. So I think that adoption is always like very challenging. But
yeah,
of course, it's about how we place or present cooking robots, I guess.
yeah.
Um, Great. So, there are many players who are, in building in this space. So, I
Hmm.
want to understand your mindset of what took you to this space wherein you are building this particular robot. So I would like to, start from way back because I think every person's, life is shaped by their parents and the society that they are born and brought up in. And of course, eventually, when once they cross college, what kind of people they, get along with, and then accordingly, what people they meet on way, they kind of influence them. So if you can tell me, like, where were you born and a bit about both of your parents or whoever lived in your home.
Yeah, so I am born in a small village near Surat, Gujarat. So I grew up in a farmer's family. So my father was a government officer plus a farmer, and my mother was a housewife. So mostly grew up seeing the farming getting done, right? So for me, the first fascination was the harvester, right? Like uh, we used to spend a lot of time harvesting the crop, and then suddenly one harvester come which used to be take 15 days, it gets done in a one day. So that was my first fascination with machine, like how machine can do. And see, these machines were never perfect, right? They were, let's say, when I remember my father making that decision, he would say that, okay, this is my labor cost, but if I get a harvester, this much wastage will happen. So make a calculation and decide whether to get a harvester or labor, right? So that is where my first exposure to machines been, right? But overall, when I grew up, I got more and more pulled towards physics and physical world, right? So I like building physics experiment, building some concepts, right? So I was very fascinated that how train could be made faster and quicker, right? Because my village was near the railway line, and I was always thinking how trains could become better. So that was my early childhood fascination, and then eventually I generated interest in electronics, then breaking some electronic stuff, trying to rewire it, etc. Right. So that was like that shaped me my interest towards electronics. So eventually, I did BTech in electronics, and there my exposure to building robots started, like building the normal fighter robot, right, which have participated in the competition.
Okay, so was that the first time you heard the word robot?
So actually, so I was someone, though I was in living in village, but I used to read newspaper to the land, etc. So in 90s, right, I think 94, 95 or 95, 97, there was this entire wave of Japanese robot coming in, Asimos, and people were all saying that eventually everything will be done by robot. So there was a huge wave that came in, and I was aware about it. So I think first I heard about robotics in my fifth or sixth class, where there was an entire
Hmm.
wave of robots, right, saying that oh the humanoid will come and it will do everything, etc., etc. But it they really didn't come. Right? So, but that's where I heard the first word robot, and it was I was intrigued because see, living in a village where every small thing is done very rudimentary level, and then you
Right.
read about things which are like next level, where robot come in, do your chores, etc. Was quite fascinating for me.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
I
So
think that's yeah.
one
Village
way
or
I would
town, it
say that.
doesn't matter. I guess everyone around was very fascinated. They're still,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I'll tell you, like the most of time when I grew up in my village, we had a old style chulha where cooking used to get done.
Hmm.
Right? So
Right.
my auntie or my mother would go and like use that wood-based stove at that time. Um,
Hmm.
and then we have a biogas and other things. Right? So I was in a very different world together. Like in imagination, I was like very forward, but then reality was all these things. So uh, that's been my exposure. But then it shaped me because I also realized the two world difference, right? Like sometimes like the entire imaginary world where a lot of things happen, but then the reality people are stuck with cold methods, right? And where there is a gas stove, why people are not moving. So that gave me good exposure of both mindset. And I'm comfortable with that mindset, right? That is the biggest thing. So I understand that okay, people will be there, and then when they start seeing the value, they will move in, right? So eventually they move in, but as a concept, when something new comes in, a lot of people just by nature it just hesitate, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? So it is just that one day some people will imagine the value, like value it will create in their life, and some people will, when they see the value created in the life of other people, then they will adopt, right? So that I am very much uh, like balanced with, and also bringing in a living in a village, right? You one thing that comes in, like what bad can happen, right? So there is a one strength I would say, like what the worst thing can happen, right? It is for most of people that is like a very uh, very uncomfortable thing, while for me it is like okay, what worse can happen is I've already seen the worst and it is not that bad. So so that is how I looked at it, right? So even I today I look at it like that.
Interesting. So, what all projects did you like? Were you very closely associated with robotics in your college times?
Yeah, so third year we built a fighter robot, which was supposed to basically the robo fighting competition. I
Hmm.
forgot the name, but yeah. So we built it was a wire robot. We push the button and it does stuff. So it was the first thing, and we got defeated by a wire autonomous robot. So one of my friends,
Okay.
he built a robot for the fighter. Like everyone had a wire thing, they were operator and stuff, where what he did was he went to Mumbai, got very powerful motor, and he has ultrasonic sensor. So when he sees something at distance, he just pushes very hard, right? and his motor was way more capable than any motor that is available in Surat. So everyone got defeated by this robot, right? Like
Hmm.
that was the first way. Actually, insight wise, right? It was first time we think like, oh, operators are not as capable as the automation, right? Like where
Mhm.
operator can make mistake. It will not take momentary fast decision, while robots can take decision much more quicker. So that was one of the most fascinating learning that we got, and also we understood what resourcefulness uh, really
Hmm.
matters, right? Like
Right.
traveling from Surat, taking a night journey to Mumbai and getting this motor, the game changer, right? So
Right.
resourcefulness is very critical, is what we realize.
Well said. Well said. Yeah. Yeah. These are the small things that kind of gets stuck with you. And then when you're kind of building something this serious, you understand the importance of every single part that you are actually adding to your product. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So post your college, did you like do some work experience until you started your company in robotics?
Yeah.
So
So
if you can just talk some experiences that you got before you got to the stage of building Nosh.
yeah. So post my BTech, I did my masters at Indian Institute of Science, and I did my master in electronic product design. So that gave me exposure to overall everything that get involved in a product, right? Be it industrial design, power supply. So one electronic robotic person who just understand microcontrollers and motors and stuff to building a reliable product, right? So I it gave me good exposure to reliability analysis, like how to design system which works for longer, networking, and all those things. So post my graduation, my masters, I actually joined a um, so also we learn about the chip design because that was one of the core expertise we get at ISC. So we learn about chip design, and then I also got very much interested in that, like chip design. So I joined a company called Analog Devices. So Analog Devices is a company. They make, like, I was in a digital signal processor team. So they were making audio digital signal processor DSPs, and there I worked for 4 years developing the L1 cache controller for their upcoming processor. Right. So pure technical work is what I did. Then I started realizing that this is great work. You can enjoy it, but then I was like, is this the something that I want to do entire my life, right? So, and my previous thing come up with like I want to do something interesting, something moving, and not look at simulation all the time. So just where I quit ADA, and I joined a very early stage startup as a CTO called Lumos Design. So our hypothesis was variables are stayed same way from ages, right? Like what we wear, what we carry, have not changed a lot. So we wanted to put technology in it, and we started with backpacks. The backpack has a good real estate. We can integrate good technology, and the this is 2014. 2000, yeah, 2014 is when we were doing this. So idea was that now backpacks. So that time the mobile phone has just come in, and the Android phone or the phone which display started getting popular. And the real problem with those was the battery life, right? So uh, charging a phone was a big challenge, and that's where we thought we should have a solar backpack. So anyone who travel around should have a solar in their backpack, and that will give them power to charge the battery. So that's where we got started. That was our first product. Eventually, we went into the hobby segment, right? From not for everyone, but people who do long distance cycling, trekking is what became our market. Then we did a backpack with for commute cyclists. So when cyclists actually cycle, then there are a lot of accident that happens because they are not visible to the motor traffic. and that is one of the biggest safety concerns. So we started putting, we made a backpack which has all the lights a car have in the back, right? So it has a brake light, it has signal light, it has the back light so that people know that you are there. And we design like a side light also, so people know how far are you from there. So we built those backpack, and then we sold it across mostly Europe, because Europe is a big on cycling. So that was the technology we were building. So eventually we became a cycling technology startup, I would say. We were building some of the fascinated stuff like uh, glove which can measure their pulse rate, pedaling rate, etc. Right. So we went deep into it, but then our challenge was Europe market. Right. So Europe market is not very highly early adopter market. We had challenges meeting their quality standards, and that's where we had a trouble. So then uh, eventually we were running out of money, and then uh, so Ether kind of acquired the entire team. Ether Energy acquired the entire team, and then I wanted to do something different. So I did consulting for about a year, and then started building this. So yeah, when I was doing consulting is when this idea came in that cooking should be automated so that I get taste as I like. Right. So that was the core reason building North. So we felt that like food is there everywhere because you can't survive, but can you get as per your taste requirement, as per your diet requirement? And that is the core problem if you wanted to solve. And that's why we built the cooking robot.
Oh, so what year was that?
This actually, so early experimentation happened with consulting 2017, and
Hmm.
2018 is where we got started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you can talk to me about your very, very early time, wherein when you thought of this idea, were you talking with someone alongside? How did you think about the funds? And how did you build your team and your first prototype? So we
Yeah.
can start with one of the things, and we can see in the initial first year, how did all of this kind of shape up?
Yeah. So what happened was I was building parallelly with my consulting. So
Hmm.
I and one of my friends, we were building at night. So basically at night time, we sit and design, and then daytime we, since I was consultant, I got a little freedom to move around, get things done. So
Hmm.
I'll release files, get it done with vendor. So we started experimenting, figuring out, discussing, etc. And also I was spending some time figuring out, is there a market? Because what my
Nice.
previous experience taught me was like you should not just build something, you should keep getting the continuous feedback. So what I was doing was I was talking to friends, figure out, do really people need it, or I am the only one needing it, right? So that was the one doubt was clearing. So I spoke to close to 100 people, and what I realized is whenever people move to a new city or new country, right, their food get disrupted. So they have to adopt to a new food which they may like or not like, and especially for the working couples, this is a big challenge. And most of working professional, food is a compromise. Like they adjust to the food, right? So that. So that gave us comfort, and we try to sell also early on, saying that can you buy it? What should be price at, or how much you pay per month, right? So we will a lot of surveys and got comfort around that. So uh, eventually it became like, can you build a robot which can cook well, right? Then there is a market. So we started believing that can you really build a robot? And that was a skepticism that can you really build it? So got a couple of grant and personal money. We built first prototype, and idea was to just cook, right? Cook and taste the food. So I remember our first prototype was like almost 3 feet by 3 feet. So Like it was a huge. People used to like where we were in a co-working space, and people used to believe that we are building satellite. It was that big. so so um then but the idea was that can it cook and can it cook well? So we iterated on the mechanism and way of cooking through a big prototype so that we get we get comfort that it can cook well. So almost 2018, and we had a working prototype which a POC. I would say it's not prototype because the look and feel it. There's no user interface, right? So um, 2018, and we had a something which can make food if it had, right? It was like that. So we were demoing around in our co-working space, and then we what happened was someone connected to the cloud kitchens. So let's say someone work other company in the co-working space. We were at IKP then. So then they call their friend who is working at other cloud kitchen company like Swiggy or Eat. So we got very good interest from them. So we started building, like we started talking to them, figuring out their problems in the commercial kitchens. Um, then we conceptualized one robot which we can solve problem for these people. So our we got LOI from Swiggy and EatFit. In fact, EatFit we got paid also for our first prototype. We are saying,
Nice.
but you pay us, then only I believe the problem is genuine. So they actually
Right.
we got paid without even having the product. Like it was
And how
all
much was that?
10 lakhs.
Oh, that's a good amount. Okay.
So, and then we're like, we'll build it up for you, but you should pay advance because then we know that you have a real genuine problem to solve. So, we have LOI from Swiggy and Eatfit, and Rebel Food was also very much interested. So, we felt that this is a robot which can work in the this industry. So, before we decide what to build, we spend like complete morning 4 a.m. to evening like 11 o'clock in their kitchen, figuring out the processes,
Hmm.
how things happen, what is the dull period, um, and then we propose the solution to them. So it 1920 we were building the commercial robot, I would say, right? 20 when the COVID hit, what happened was most of these people like demand got disrupted. So they really didn't know what kind of demand they can estimate. So they realized that they have to go for a frozen supply chain because they really don't have to cook that, right? Like food wastage is one of the biggest challenge, right? So food wastage and consistency at the outlet, right? These are two big challenges for any brand. So eventually, all these people move to a frozen supply chain. The food get made in factory and then shipped to the outlet. They regenerate at the outlet and then served to the customer. And which we felt will be the situation for all the brands which are multi-city, because your supply chain of ingredient is optimized. It is coming to one place, and your quality is optimized. It is at one place. So everyone has to eventually go to frozen supply chain. So we went back to whiteboard and started discussing, is there an opportunity there, or the like large kitchen is not a place for robot because it's already automated at the factory. So that's been um, our journey, and then it was COVID time. We couldn't travel abroad or we couldn't see other markets. We spoke to a lot of mom and pop restaurants also. What we realized is that for mom and pop restaurant, the one labor does multiple of work. So to give a very consistent cost outcome, right, is very hard, and they don't care as much of taste consistency. So our realization was that maybe it is too early for this market to enter, uh, because we can give a real cost benefit to them. And taste consistency, they are, so firstly they were all struggling in 2020 and 2021. So this was not coming to their mind. Like they had their own basic problem. Like, will I pay my bills this, like, rent this month was a challenge, right? Um, so we went back and then we thought, let's get started with what we, the main reason to build it, right, was the consumer product. We can cook personalized food. We went back to consumer product and started building that. Meanwhile, so for 21, we started our alpha trials. We got 20, in, yeah, we got 20 product build, put it at different customers, got a feedback. Right, enough of issues like ability, reliability, and taste. So we started getting feedback from 21, and like September, October time onwards, we started doing the trials, and then incorporating those feedback into the product. So that took us good time, because once it goes out, we get the feedback, improve, again go back. So we have multiple iterations before we launch the product in August 24. So August 24, uh, the good part was, like, I always believe that if you're building hardware, you get orders before you have solution, right? So uh, you should able to sell before you build, because building is going to take time. How are you going to be sure that it's going to sell? So we were always believing that before it exists, make an animation, make a video, and sell. Because
Hmm.
if you get it wrong, you waste so many years of your life building wrong things.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
So we always believe in selling first. So 2021 itself, we had like a good amount of pre-orders, close to 1,000 pre-orders for our product.
Oh, wow. Your salesperson did an excellent job.
Yeah, like it's not so basically, and for us, fortunately, uh, some PR covered us, right? So
Okay.
your story covered us, Better India covered us,
Hmm.
and this too was enough to get us this many orders.
So you
So
got the orders like just by word of mouth. You didn't go like to
yeah,
get
no. So
those.
basically, if call comes, we answer, but there was no performance marketing or anything done. There was
Oh, interesting.
no reaching out for sales kind of thing done. In fact,
Hmm.
just we were very small team that time, 5 people. Uh,
Oh, interesting.
so
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 you got all these 1,000 customers mostly from just these
yeah,
publications,
yeah.
and which was also like not done by you. It was just like the stories got covered.
Yeah, its stories got
Interesting.
covered, and then we got order. Reason being 2021, right? Cooking was
Hmm.
real problem, right? Because
Okay.
there
Okay.
were no
Nice.
people were hesitant to get cooks, and people were at home always thinking about food, right? So
Right. Right.
I
Okay.
think
Great. So the
on the high,
COVID kind of actually came at a good time for you.
yeah. So on the hindsight, I think that if you do not taken the pivot and we would have product ready by 21,
Hmm.
it would have gotten a good impact, because everyone was looking for robot at that point of time, but we were not
Right.
ready, right? So,
Hmm.
uh, but anyway, like, I think product building journey in the hardware is long and it keeps
Right.
evolving, right? So,
Right.
uh, even if we do not taken pivot, we were not sure with the product be ready.
Hmm.
Just, that was and the good part is, like, we launched almost 3 years after the book, but
Right.
we got 50-70% conversion on the pre-orders after even three,
Hmm.
4 years, right? So um, that way it's good, like it worked well. And the
Hmm.
biggest thing we got is, like, this is the right thing to build, right? Like, this is not
Right.
our imagination we are building, but there's a demand for it. So
Right.
that's how
Yeah.
we built it. Uh,
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, very interesting journey from building 3 by 3 feet big machines to now completely building, like I guess, microwave
Microwave
oven
size.
style,
Yeah,
machines which can just be like an add-on to anyone's kitchen.
Yeah,
So let's go back again and talk about when you said you had a couple of grants and you all kind of pitched in your own money as well. Can you tell me some figures like where did you apply it and how much did you start with?
like early on we got midi grass for 10 lakhs, then MSME for 20 lakhs. Um, then there was a midi seed support, which was 40 lakhs for us, but you can get up to 1 CR, right? So these are the grant we got. So we got a lot of government support to build this company, I would say. Close to 1 CR we got through various government schemes, right? So, um, and then we had an angel investor who invested early on. Mostly it was a known people from our network who invested. So broadly around 40, 50 lakhs is what we got through the angel investor. This is pre 2020, right? So we are very lean team. About 1 CR we were building, experimenting and getting money from customer, right? So that was another thing. Like we were selling before and getting customers money, right? So that really helped us. Um, then 21, after we got pre-order, we could raise money and we raised $1 million uh, from Angel, again Angel Group. So Bispark Angels funded us $1 million, and then they come in again when we were in early commercialization. So yeah, so this has been our funding journey. Funding is hard in hardware. I think now it is becoming little easier, but 18, 90, 2021, people if when they say hardware, people used to drop off, right? So um, that has changed to some extent now. People want to invest in hard tech, deep tech right now. So yeah, so funding is always hard, and what we have to build is we have to give to confidence. Is you can build this that confidence, and like team is good enough to build this kind of product. There is a confidence that is required, and there is a demand for it, right? Like um, in our case, market proving is very hard because it is about building adoption, right? Like um, because if you say it get adopted, the figures are so huge that every investor will say, "Oh, is it true?" Like that, right? So, will it happen like that? Because if you see if all houses adopt it, then it's a huge market, right? Our idea was to really convince that adoption can be built. That was the way we took it.
Okay. So when you pitched to your angel investors,
Hmm.
with whom you raised about say $1 million and then post that as well, what is it that you pitched them, and what do you, how did you reach out to them, and what is it that you pitched to them?
Yeah. So, see, reaching out to investors, basically early stage angel, right? Um,
Hmm.
So one approach we took it like from our founder's friend because there are so many angel investors. So you can
Hmm.
write to them or get connected to them. For us, we wrote to lot of cold emails in
Hmm.
for the angel investor. And second thing is, so major investment anyway came to Bispark, which is Bispilani Angel. One of my co-founders is from Bispilani, through which we got connected and then we raised from there. So obviously,
Hmm.
right? So that's what helped us raise the money.
Okay. So when you talk about we, as in you have multiple co-founders, so can you tell me how did you meet with them?
Yeah, so actually when we started or when I started, uh, I was the only founder and we were doing
Okay.
commercial kitchen, B2B, right? So my
Hmm.
co-founder joined me in 2021 when we were taking
Oh.
B2B to B2C. Idea was the B2C is a tough job. Like there are a lot of functions that is involved. B2B, another thing was we didn't really need the AI very strong because you can do ingredient control, right? You can say that ingredient with this much water content only should be allowed, right? So, which is not possible in B2C. So, what we realized is the AI is going to be a biggest part of this. So that's why I was looking for co-founder and then I met Sudeep through one of the common friends. So Sudeep was working at Broadcom, and then my friend was also working in Broadcom, the same team. So we met during a house party, and then we got connected, and then he worked 6 8 months part time before joining full time.
So what did you say that you were looking for in a co-founder?
So
That
we were looking for someone who can build the AI ML algorithm, which is required to automate food,
hmm,
right? Like basically automating the judgment of cooking is what we were looking at, and that's where we got. That's why I got Sudeep for it, and I was looking for AI co-founder, I would say, right?
okay.
Secondly, so I was working with Eat Fit, and then uh, the person I was working with was from ISB, and she connected me to one of my other co-founder, Amit, who take care of business part of it. So
Hmm,
Amit take care of business and marketing for us.
hmm, got it. So, when both the other co-founders joined you midway, why didn't you give them like that particular role, like just as a salesperson or someone like a CTO? But why did you make them a co-founder?
So actually, see, early stage, it is all about staying in the game, right? And having that
Hmm,
conversation. So if there is a skin in the game and you know that you are going to lose sort of thing if it doesn't work, right? That mindset really helps. So having a co-founder is very important. Personally, I feel because you can have a tough conversation, right? So let's say
hmm,
I hire for someone for sales and marketing. Uh, like most of time it will happen that if I am wrong, that person is not going to come very strongly, right?
hmm,
uh, Maybe say that okay, yes, we can do it, right? While if he's a co-founder, then he can argue really well. So
hmm,
uh, I see that as the biggest thing because we can have a tough conversation. So
hmm,
and anyway, early stage cash is limited, right? So hiring a ISB person as what you call without uh, at good salary is very hard. So to get good people, we are always okay with giving equity because finally that build two things. First is skin in the game, and second is like you can afford them. You can afford the quality talent, right? So I would
hmm.
say that way.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's a good thought process. That is the mindset that requires, right? You require that mindset to understand these things and then hire accordingly. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about your design journey. When you started building this first prototype, and so first, let's talk about the B2C that you were addressing. So, who were you building with when you started building this product?
Yeah. So
And how did you, just to add to it, how did you uh, outsource the parts?
hmm,
And where did you start building it? So, just everything around, yeah,
yeah.
designing.
So so my early team, I had like we when I started, I got three engineers, mostly mechanical. Three engineer I got on board.
So, you
Venkatesh,
hired them
yeah,
full time.
Venkatesh, Abhishek, and Kushan. So the engineer acted as owners, right? And they were there like tough time where almost nil salary they were working with. So they were almost till like 3 4 years they were instrumental behind the product. So the first design that happened, the funny part is like it took us 1 month to get money from EFIT during 2019, right? And people were wondering what to do, right? So they built actually entire CAD of the NOS in the that 1 month where we were waiting for payment to happen, right? Our direction was fixed, but the thing was like let money come in, we'll start the work only then, right? So meanwhile they built a CAD of it. So when what happened when this business went away, we could quickly prototype it, right? So our early design was thanks to them. So they designed it, and then 2021 we came in, we started prototyping. So and that's why we could build very quickly because it was not that things were not ready. It was almost there. We had to just build it. So that's how the first prototype came in. And hardware is a tough one, right? Like you build it, but then if there's a small error, you have to revise it again. Um, so thankfully, due to grants and stuff, we had always money for the proto. We didn't have money for salary, but we had always money for the proto because
Yeah, that's
all
important.
the all
Yeah,
the grants give money to build prototypes, right?
right.
If you spend on salary, they will widen their eyes. But if you spend on material prototyping, then no one is stopping you, right? So we were crazy prototypers. Like we the idea comes in, we put it in the CAD, next day it gets released for the proto. And then obviously the biggest challenge is how do you get it done quickly from the vendor and uh, at quality, right? Like the what you release and what comes out will be different. So we've been through the journey of releasing something, not getting the right part, but then we realize how to get it done with vendors, like sitting with them, be going personally to get the product in front of them. We measure and check, and then if not done, get it done there, right? So we learned that. For us, actually, COVID kind of helped because 21 still people were not having that much business on manufacturing. Like even early 2022, their business was slow. So when we go with a proto request, they are happily doing it. So that also helped us in early stage where we were able to get everything done and we are machining like everything. We take aluminum machine it. Like that's how we got all our parts done, design done. Alpha, beta 1, beta 2, all the parts were machine parts. They were not plastic, everything aluminum hard anodized or sheet metal because that is something you can prototype very quickly and a bit 3D printed part because the food shape part can't be 3D printed. So for us, there are limited thing we can do 3D printing and that's why we went with machining the parts. So most of that would be machine, and it's a tough job. I think there's no solution for it for a early stage startup to work with the vendor and get it done. So build the relationship is the key. Like build the relationship, make them friends of yours, and also the key part is follow up early in the morning. Like our rule right now also that you call them before they do puja at their office, right? Like the guy owner will go do the puja once he reach factory. Before that, you have to call him because he'll do puja and then he's going to go assign the work. If you have not hit that thing, right? What will happen is he has assigned the work for the day and it's forgot, right? So it's very important to get them work, like get the follow up. Like 11 o'clock you follow up has no meaning because uh, his priorities are always something else, right? Because in a larger order has been come or whatever. But if you follow up that 9 o'clock window, 9 to 10 window is when your things get done. So
Very interesting.
we
It's
call it
like
potty
when
calls.
they are setting them. Okay. What's
So
it
we
called?
call it potty calls. So basically, you are in potty, you should call these vendors.
Oh God. But that works for you clearly. So
Yeah,
whatever works.
yeah, that only works, right? So basically, when you're in potty, you give a call. Like it's all two things: what to do while doing potty, and then it also solve the work problem. So that works
Interesting.
beautifully.
Ah, interesting. So if we want to get something done from you, so I think we should take care of that. Call you at the earliest so that we get scheduled the
Yeah,
earliest. Okay,
yeah.
great. Also, when building a prototype, say in food industry, right? What goes into the thought process of how does the food gets made? Because here the every outcome is like very very critical. Like you said,
Mm,
consistency number one, and of course the quality of food. Like you just can't play with it. Um, so how do you make sure that the tech is right for food in this case? Like, how do you maintain the quality, and how do you, keeping that in mind, understand how to engineer it?
Yeah. So we have been through journey, right? The key part is breaking it up and fixing every small thing, right? So let's say initially we said, okay, stirring. So stirring means this kind of consistency is possible in the pan. So you take that up. Let's say you are building a stirrer. You know that these are the taste cases for you. Like you have to taste with, let's say, rice, rajma, uh, some leafy vegetable, gravy, semi-gravy, right? Dry potato, stuff like that. So you have these taste cases. So when you are iterating the salad design, you know that if you pass this 10 thing, you will be right, right? So what we have built it like a taste cases where for each, let's say dispensing, right? There are different type of texture, size, shape, right? Let's say something like spinach will get stuck to the thing what you use. So how do you get that right? Is you have it in taste case. So let's say these are the 10 variety of food item you have to dispense and see the accuracy. Right? So once you prove something on that, it comes out perfect. The other challenge I mentioned before is the food safety perspective, right? Like 3D printed thing we can't use because they are never food safe because the nozzle has uh, um, mm, like lead cadmium material typically, right? And how are you going to know that it is not there? So we were always machining it. Like anything that even during prototype, we prototyping thing was different. Like it was that you make it in aluminum, machine the aluminum, however complex it is. Okay, like you get it machine, then do hard anodize, and then use it for the food. So that has been the way we went with during the early prototyping. The problem starts when you reach production, right? Uh, your mechanisms are proven. Now you want to build the real thing. So now the plastic has to come in place. Uh, Unfortunately, there are no proven food safe rapid prototyping method for plastic, right? Vacuum casting also is on borderline. You are never sure if it is food safe or not. Right? The material and you're you will not sure that it is food safe. So we went till machining and then we started molding. So now from the machine part, which used to be heavy, thicker, right? It will work beautifully. When you go in the manufacturing, the behavior changes. Also, food safe material are very hard to get the part right in. Let's say, and food safe is also BPA free. So if you go for BPA free transport, there is like you have to work with sand. Sand is notoriously difficult to handle in injection molding. Then also you have to take care that like when the tool, typically when you are using the injection molding, there's a tool release spray that gets sprayed upon, right? And that has not been used because that will remove the food safety. So you have to import this part. Like what we do now is we give this food safe spray to our manufacturer. So they use this instead of more, and we give it in more quantity. So they might use for other parts also, but it is food safe. So that those things are required. Also the environment, right? When we go to the factory, if there's a lot of dust and things are unorganized, we simply don't work with them because um, food require the cleaning, like things to be clean. Uh, so, or in fact, our manufacturing final assembly happen in a AC factory. It's an air conditioner factory where it gets done because like dust particle and all should not come in. So, and actually that has been also a tougher journey. It took us 1.5 year to get all this thing right because um, see we don't have volume. We are small volume. we still had lot of quality standard that a small SME vendor has to follow. So it is a tough nut to crack because you have to really convince them um, at lower volume and brighter future, right? So that is that is the hardest part.
Wow. So how much of the production happens in-house, like in your own factory, and how much happens at your vendors right
So
now?
our manufacturing is completely contract manufacturing. So we have outsourced
Okay.
our manufacturing.
Hmm.
It's a decently large player we have outsourced to. And
Hmm.
um, also what we do is, and then parts come from different vendors and the final assembly happens.
Hmm.
So uh, entire manufacturing is outsourced, but then we are always there. Like one of two team member always sit at the factory and make sure that production happens on time.
Hmm. Okay. How many vendors are you working with? Even the
Like
assembly kind of happens with another vendor.
yeah, so we are
Okay. So
working
how
with
many
35
vendors?
vendors.
Yeah.
35 vendors.
Oh, wow. Very interesting. So it's about managing all these vendors and the timelines.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay. And
So,
what are these vendors doing? If you can just give a brief breakdown.
so different, right? So basically, we have three vendors for plastics. Different type of plastic parts are divided in the three vendors. Then we have something called thermoform parts that happens to one vendor. Then we have a sheet metal part, right? That happens with two vendors. Then we have glass that happens with one vendor. Then we have lot of like PCBs happen differently, like PCB vendors. Then we have wiring harness that happens with a different vendor. Then lot of off-the-shelf part like the knobs, the handles, and the legs. Then we have a lot of linear drive parts, right? The shafts and lead screw, all that comes in from different vendors. So I would say five, like six vendor on our customized part, and rest will be off-the-shelf stock parts.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. Nice. That's like pretty core engineering. And right now, what is your capacity? How many robots you can build, like say in a month or a year?
We can build 300 a month currently,
Oh,
running
okay.
one shift. So if we scale to three shift, it's still 800, 900 per month we can build.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So we
Okay.
have installed decent capability because uh, and we did this because we needed more station just for because there are so many steps and if one person doing too many steps, he will get confused, forgotten. So we have
Hmm.
made it anyway smaller steps so that we will not miss it. So that's why we have more steps, more parallelism, and that's why it
Hmm.
build like we can build more volume even day one.
Oh, okay. So, talking about your first prototype to what, so if coming to B2C, talking about your first prototype versus what you're selling right now, what was the cost of your product then, and what is the cost of the product now?
Yeah, so the first prototype we built costed around 2 lakh rupees to build first prototype.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, now, like now it is obviously we sell at 75,000, right? So it has brought down quite significantly. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Very interesting. That's like a lot of management, and of course, like figuring all of that on your own, I guess. Um, let's talk about market. So, what is your go-to market strategy right now with such cooking robots?
So we are going direct to consumer, like we are talking to the consumer directly. Our approach is D2C. The reason being, we want to really understand the customer use cases and customer experience, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if people are through us, we can talk to them. We can know even after the sales, we can
Hmm.
bring lot of insight from them. In fact, our currently whoever buys it, we put it in a WhatsApp group. So anything that comes in,
Oh,
they can share us directly, right? So we have built a community approach for it, and also help us understand the taste, like the recipe
Right.
request, because
Right.
for us, product is not this product that we have built, but actually food coming
Yeah,
out
it's
of it,
what
right?
comes out of it.
Right.
Right.
So, given the variables, right? Let's say someone cook faster, someone cuts differently, someone get different type of ingredient, right? So that customer experience is very, very crucial, and we need to understand depth of it to get it right. So that's why we make sure that we handhold them entire journey, and that's why we have D2C. Post that will go to e-commerce eventually, going to Amazon. And, yeah, in India we already started Amazon. US will start in some time. So for us, no, actually for us the key market is the US, where we want to we see the scale. Like so, for any robotics, actually India is one of the toughest market, right? Because labor is cheap, labor is available. Secondly, uh, the India is highly unorganized, right? So you take factory or kitchen or home, it's very unorganized, right? So for robot to operate in this environment, uh, India is always tough environment to work with. So which we need first, because you pass here, you will pass everywhere. This kind of thing, right? Like you pass
Hmm.
driving test in India, you'll able to drive anywhere in the world, right? So so it's almost like
Okay.
that, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of put first 1,000 unit in India.
Hmm. Okay.
So we
So
get
right now you
a
have 1,000 units already deployed with real customers, and you're getting real-time feedback from them.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. What is your team size, and how many chefs do you have in your team right now?
So we have 35 people in our team right now, and we have two chefs and two home chefs. Basically, so what we realized early on is the culinary professional, once you get it, they are trained to get very good food outcome, but also have lot of ingredient processes, etc. Like they are tuned to get great taste with lot of preparation. While what we needed is good taste with very low preparation. So that's where we have a home people, so that they can really fight around it, right? So the taste versus prep is the real time fight that happens for every dish. Like how do we reduce the preparation in this? How do we make sure it is easy? At the same time, it should taste good. So that's why we have four people in the culinary team. Two coming from the home background and two are from culinary background.
Maybe that's why you wouldn't want to get someone, say, like an influencer, like a famous chef on board, because then it requires a different kind of presentation and, I guess, uh, ingredients involved.
Yeah, eventually we could,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
they have to operate in the machine's boundary and get the recipes done,
Hmm.
because you can't get Michelin star kind of plated dish out of north, because it is designed for everyday cooking, right? It is not designed for
Hmm.
Michelin star dish. So that's where its capabilities, and then you have to tune work around the. So real limitation is actually how much people will do accurate prep, right? So let's say when
Hmm.
chefs are doing their sous chef is doing everything very, very accurately, nicely, right? Here the sous chef is a person now.
Hmm.
So they will do
Right.
everything roughly, right? So can your dish taste really good with this kind of preparation? And that's the key,
Hmm.
right? So
Right.
um, that is a
Okay. Yeah. Well said. Hmm.
that is what
Hmm.
we are trying to make sure that with low prep, our dishes are coming out good.
Hmm. Interesting. So right now you cater only to like B2C, like B2C.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only B2C.
Okay. So you
Because
don't do B2B.
yeah, because the product is not designed for B2B, right? It's like product
Hmm.
is designed for one customer in mind, that is at home, people who want to get freshly cooked meats at home. That is how it is
Hmm.
designed for. So a lot of things like let's say someone use in a B2B use case, their goal is to save labor. Then this can't do it,
Hmm.
right?
Got it.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, right. Both the markets are very different, of course.
mm,
Like
yeah,
if you're doing it for like an everyday basis. So yeah,
yeah.
sure.
So
So,
it product has to be designed for that market, right? And you have to get that right because if you try
hmm,
to do very wide thing, um, the it will be no for no one, right? So
hmm,
we always believe that we should say no to many things because
hmm,
you always want to do more things and do more features and
right,
get more things done, right? So in fact, the thumb rule is 80% of time we should say no. So
right. Yeah,
instead of
you should know
yes,
what to say now.
yeah,
Definitely. Very important. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, your machine right now, it's majorly making curries, right? So
curries,
we've also,
sabjis, rice dishes, dals,
hmm,
pastas, different type of stews, soup, chow
hmm.
mein, appetizers, all that it can make.
Okay, got it. So we also had, a way long back, there was a very interesting machine which made rotis or as well, like for
Yeah,
Indian families. So are you also interested to, put like get more products out which also make these other kind of like say dosas or rotis or some other kind of breads for Indian market?
yeah. So we have our eye on, but uh, we feel that there is a lot of things to be done in this area itself, right? So our current focus is how do we reduce the prep for the user and can we automate the prep, right? So that is how we are looking at it. Then also building accessories which can reduce their workload. So see, we got very nice temperature control stove, a thing which can stir very nicely, thing that can go up and down, where something can be dipped and removed, right? So that is all there in the product. So we are building accessories for deep frying, we are building for steaming, bowl making, and searing, right? So we are focusing on the accessories to increase the capability of the product and reduce the upload, right? That is our focus. We want to deviate so much, right? So dosa will still considering because dosa can be done in our product without making any change. Some small accessories that we can bring in. Roti requires larger changes, and it can be done in this. It has to be a separate product. So at least now we are not looking at it because we feel that this domain is what we want to solve it. And also we are getting more Western focus right now, like solving a problem for the US market, right? Um, so that's why we are looking that way rather than roti. Yeah.
Okay. How much of your product right now has AI in it?
So as I mentioned, right, the ingredients vary, and that's what the core problem we have to solve. So that's where we have AI for multiple ingredients, right? Like onion, tomato, chicken, rice, potato, cabbage. List is quite long. So shrimp, like lot of ingredient. We have built AI to make sure that cooking is done automatically to perfection, and we are adding more and more capabilities there. So that is what we call it culinary AI that we are developing, which is it's like we want to cook this ingredient in this way. This is AI which will come into picture. So it's very specific for one ingredient is what how we have built it. Um, and then other are all LLM use cases we have like customer support, uh, then the recommendation engine. Then we have the entire discovery of the disease, like with what to cook.
Hmm.
There's
Hmm.
a
Oh my God! Wow, that's that's a good feature to add.
yeah, yeah. So you can chat and figure out what is that you want to cook. So you can say I
Nice.
have
Like
this,
what is available at
yeah,
home and what are
and
you
what
in
is your
mood
mood?
for?
Yeah,
Ah, wow, nice. So that voice capability is there.
yeah, yeah. So that you
Okay.
can
And
solve.
all these various things that you mentioned, You're building everything in-house, or do you collaborate with someone?
Yeah, so majorly somehow our approach being all in-house. Sometimes I feel it's not a great thing to do, but a lot of things we do in-house uh, and not work with partners. We'll in future we'll do more and more with partners is what we feel. But we use the libraries and tools that are available, right? So sometimes we build upon what is existing and then go on top of it. Uh, my belief is always like it's a build versus buy. We should always buy, and unfortunately somehow we kept on building more things. But it's my approach is always buy first. If it exists, we should always buy versus build.
Hmm. It's faster, I guess,
It's
and it's
faster.
already
There is a
tried
space.
maybe somewhere.
Yeah, it's already
Hmm.
tried. It's reliable. There is a specialist for it.
Hmm.
It has gone through enough
Hmm.
learning, which you have to go through now, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So, which is your like your top three dishes? Um.
So I love the gajar halwa made in
Oh
Nosh. It's
wow.
my favorite dish. Then like being Guju, I have lasagna bateta and sev tameda as my another two
Uh.
favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Nice.
my
Okay.
weekend go. So basically, both of us love Asian food. So we make different Asian dishes like khao soy or
Oh,
Thai green
nice.
curry, etc. On weekend it's always Asian, which we cook on Nos.
Oh, okay. And what are the customers' top three dishes has been?
The biggest surprise, right, for us is the whatever we do, the top dishes are poha, upma, and I think poha, upma, and egg burji. These are the three
Uh,
top
it's
dishes
like the
always.
actual everyday
Yeah,
like meals. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
People
Oh,
like
okay.
when we're building, then a lot of people are saying, "Who will eat upma?" Like, but somehow when
Okay.
we see it, this is the what people are preparing the most.
Right. So is it like, say, there are 1,000 people and then they are all mostly Indian homes, they have poha upma for breakfast. So everywhere the poha and upma is the same taste wise?
So we have actually, let's say poha, we have six variety of poha. Upma, we have five variety of upma. Right? So because every like say south, north, there's a poha also varies a lot, right? So um, but I think that basic poha recipe is there everywhere, which is your poha recipe, right? Which has been popular and it is consumed by urban class all over India. So that's still kind of take majority of people use kada poha. Like what other poha recipe? Other poha recipe also people cook, but then kada poha is the one of the most popular dishes.
Okay. So mostly your models are the customers buy the complete product. So you don't have robots as a service as a model.
Not yet, not yet. So
Hmm.
currently, our customers buy the product. We give them full access till 7 years, which is entire AI
Hmm.
updates, over-there updates, recipe
Hmm.
updates. So we provide them for 7 years.
Okay. You don't even have rentals like monthly?
Not right now. In future, we are building the subscription models for some of the features like the
Mhm.
voice search and voice-based recipe creation, etc. We are building as a add-on feature, which will be through pay model.
Oh, okay. So what are your current revenue streams like?
So currently, product sales is the key revenue stream for us.
Hmm. Okay. So all you actually given for the next 7 years, all the updates and everything that you're sharing, you're giving it
Yeah,
as
yeah,
hmm, okay,
yeah.
got it.
Recipe. So basically, these are all part of in future we will restrict it because see these people are actually helping us tune the product, making us
Yeah, for
build the
sure.
product, right? So it
Yeah,
is still that journey that they're really helping us get the product right. We
for
are also
sure.
understanding what they like. So our key goal is that their birthday meal should be on NOS and that require us to add more recipes, add more, like change how it works, right? And then if we build the walls right now, we will not get that right. So our key idea is that once they buy it, their work they need should be on us, and whatever the barriers are, we should solve it. That is our current approach, and that will be approach for next 1 year, which is like how do we make sure that they use it regularly, right, every day. So that is our key goal, because once that happens, then we can talk about adoption, like, because, right, if you, like, you get a washing machine and you are washing clothes by hand, then it defeats the purpose. So we are trying to solve that part right now.
For sure. You are looking to add even like the chopping side of
Yeah,
vegetables on board, because that will be like a huge help. Like,
yeah,
like a sous chef not being a human and that work also getting transferred to a machine. I think it will
yeah,
be like a great achievement. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what we are
So
looking at.
yeah, okay. That'll be interesting. Uh nice. So, given that you've built a robot, what is your definition of a robot right now? Given whatever is happening around the world and whatever you have built, and I'm sure every person has like a different definition. What is yours?
Yeah, like this is one of the question I try to avoid, because for me also it
And this
is
is one question
became.
I'd love to ask.
So I think robot, from my perspective, is something that helps automated automated task, right? Like, uh, I consider washing machine also as a robot, right? Or dishwasher also as a robot, because they automated what you do at home, right? So uh, for me, anything that automate a task is a robot, right? You can have a software robot also, meaning, yeah, when I get this mail, do that and that. For me, that also I consider robot. Um, that is my current definition of
Okay,
robot.
got it. And you are pro humanoids?
No, I'm anti.
Why? You
So,
you are not interested to have humanoids at home.
so I feel the future robots should have wheels rather than they should walk, right?
Okay.
And my belief is, like, see, human have legs because we were living in forests and we had to run, like run when the lion is behind, right? We have to climb the tree, right? Um, so it needed that, right? Now, currently, most of the world has designed for wheelchairs, like not in India but outside India, right? So it is designed for wheelchair. Maybe home will require little modification, and it can be designed for wheels as well, right? So wheels is the most efficient way to move, and you don't need legs, because legs is a, so the problem, if you think from the system side, right? The moment you have legs, you are working on a basically unstable system. Like, so let's say when power is off, this humanoid is going to fall. Where it's going to fall, we don't know, right? Versus a wheel-based system, which we have excelled so far. Like cars have been built, so many things have been built. So I am in for wheel-based robots rather than a humanoid.
Okay. So like a humanoid on a wheel, kind
Yeah,
of semi-humanoid. That
semi.
works for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Got it. Okay. But you won't mind having semi-humanoids at home, I guess.
yeah. I don't mind. I don't
Yeah.
mind.
Or
Uh,
you would, yeah. Okay.
like personally, I don't mind having a humanoid at home. Uh, but the way hype is going on, I would
Hmm.
say is again repeat of 94, 96, saying that
Hmm.
we'll have home robots and it will do everything. It's bit high. I think the technology is going to take time to really, where it will able to do variety of things together. Um, and I'm happy to be surprised currently, but the current capabilities of most of these models are also limited. And I think the key difference is, right. like when you are building a robot, it has to be 100% right, right? Versus LLM, where they are right 90-95%, it's okay because you are taking judgment based on that, right? While and most of models, even LLM models today, are also 95% there or 90% there. But when you are building a robot in a physical world, it has to be delivered at uh, consistency 100% of time, and that's the challenge. So most of task becoming being a very critical task, you need to be right at it, and that's a big challenge that we are talking about. At the same time, I feel industrial side there is enough thing where robot can add value, right? Where there are enough problem to solve, and let's say in the commercial kitchen itself, right? um, there are enough problems to solve, right? So uh, the technology will bring us one step further, but I don't think we will have a humanoid in the home very soon. It is going to take this another 25 years to reach there, is what I believe. At the same time, the technology has evolved that it will solve a lot of problem at the warehouses, at the factories, at the commercial places. There are enough and more like hotels, restaurants, right? There are enough of problem that will get solved by the current technology. And I would say I would look forward to those use cases where these robots are built, right? Like classic example I give is painting, right? Painting all over the world is not automated, right? And then uh, next generation of painting robot will come where which will build it. So building those robot also is a very hard because they have to be also 100% right. Like they can do 90% work and be happy about it. Right? So and that's where I think this robotic wave is going to be this kind of task getting automated. Right? The painting getting automated, or where factory side lot of things getting automated. So that's the future right now, and it is definitely going to happen. So this is a new wave of robotics, and it will solve a lot of problems.
Okay. So which is like your favorite robot right now from around the world, and not yours, of course, but something which is real, like which is deployed. Yeah.
Yeah, so uh, see, I come from the home robotics, right? So I
Hmm.
keep track of a lot of home robots. Something that I'm very much excited about the Matic robot, which is a vacuum cleaning and the cleaning robot with visual camera, like
Yeah.
which will look at the wires and not entangle. It will not fall off from the roof, etc. So a real-time judgment while cleaning the home, right? It's
Hmm.
something. It's a good problem that it is solving. I'm also there are a lot of I'm forgetting the names, but there are a lot of laundry folding and ironing
Hmm.
startups are coming, right? So that is also another problem I'm really excited about, which can be done by robotic arm. Right? So
Right.
this is something I'm really excited about. Yeah.
Nice. Good to know that you're excited about home robots. Yeah. And any favorite robotics founder from anywhere around the world that you follow and you would suggest?
Almost everyone, like, so I follow a lot of
Yeah.
robotic accounts, and there's no one choice because see, like everyone is doing good things, and then the perspective changes, right? Like sometimes someone you
Yeah.
follow, and then tomorrow feel no, this is not the way. I think future will be that. Like whatever I said right now about
Hmm.
humanoid, right? Maybe 6 months down the line, my perspective could completely change,
Yeah.
right? And because
Definitely.
technology is also changing so fast, and
Yeah.
world is changing so fast, at least in the robotics domain, that many things we believe get hammered very soon, saying that, oh, I used to believe this, but now it is that way, right? So
Hmm.
we talk to a lot of the like the robotic founder talk. We talk with each other and see the problem. And I think the more than that, I would say the specific problem robot is what is going to make a difference, or the wave is going to come for a specific problem robot. and not a widespread application robot, right? So
Not a general
that's
robot, but always like a
yeah.
vertically specific.
And most of founder
Right.
you will also meet are building very specific
Yeah.
thing for the
Mm.
like they are building for very specific application rather than a very
Mm.
widespread. So I
Right.
think there is this wave is going to be the specific application robot. So I would say we
Hmm.
are a pre chat GPT pre chat GPT LLMs, right? Language which we used to call NLP, natural language processing, where
Hmm.
people were building model for sentiment analysis on Twitter, right? So we are in that zone on robotics right now.
Hmm.
Tomorrow,
Hmm.
maybe there
Interesting.
could be a chat GPT and that change everything,
For
but
sure.
at least we are in there. And the domain knowledge or domain expertise, right? The domain insight is going to change the business. So that's where
Hmm.
we are in.
Got it. And any favorite robot-based movie?
Nothing actually, because
No,
see, I think movies put
not
lot of
fond of.
thing not
Mm-hmm.
fond of, because see, it is because of my ground, right? Like I come from village, and
Mm-hmm.
I like to balance the imagination with reality, right? So most of those movies kind of not like it is entertainment for me, but not really
Of
like something I
course.
look forward to, right? So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, of course. All movies are entertainment. None
yeah,
of the storylines make sense, but yeah,
yeah,
just go there and have fun.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. So, just concluding this, if we can talk about what is it that the Indian ecosystem needs to build more great robotic products and solutions from the country. What challenges you faced versus what challenges we can expect the current generation of entrepreneurs, robotic entrepreneurs, to face, and what is it that they can solve for to make like a better ecosystem in the country?
So I would say two things. One is the ecosystem, right? So robotic ecosystem is very, very weak currently. Like let's say there is there are incubators for hardware, but they are also very limited in terms of the capability. So what we look for is like a incubator which has a prototyping facility along with a store, right, where you can buy the component right there, right? Where this is something that should come in. In fact,
Interesting. Okay.
um, the next, like, we grew up. This is the one I want to build where there's a prototyping facility with the store, so people can walk
Nice.
in, they get things done, they get the components like different type of motors, and then they can build the proto very quickly, right?
Hmm.
So most of our prototyping time currently goes in sourcing the parts and getting it done with the vendor, right? So this is one ecosystem challenge we do is going to be great. Second is also the knowledge sharing, right? What mistake we have done is also focus too much in India early on, and most of founders who start also end up doing that, right? So that is one thing which we have to break. So like understanding this, right? Like India is more chaotic, and India has cheap labor. So solving for India is the toughest thing you are going to do, right? In fact, I would say that first time I traveled to US, then I realized that autonomous car could be built. Like in India, just imagining that autonomous car could be built is so hard, right? So um, so that building for the Western organized world is a key, right? So, um, so that those things also could be shared. Second is obviously the funding. Fortunately, this is now solving. Like there are more and more people want to invest in hardware, deep tech, robotics. So I think funding is itself solving now, but uh, the first challenge still exists, right? So how you build a quick proto, how you get your PCB done quickly, and this is something someone has to do, not looking at profit, but looking at the outcome, right? So this is the way we should go about. I'm actually some incubator who can come up with this. as a like they do on as a part of equity, right? Like you're providing this service as a equity. Obviously, great startups will come out of it, and many people have a built the like gotten the machines, right? But then operators are not right, and there is no store. So basically, getting component again, still you have to wait because not every component is can be made custom. And
Wow,
maybe in
that's a very interesting
all
idea.
four cities, right? Only four cities to build for.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow, that's a very interesting idea for sure. And any of your, advice to the current generation of roboticists? Either they are building robots, or they're in research, or they are building, building or for other companies. So, any advice?
I would say travel, see the world.
Mm.
Go to China, go to US, go to Europe. Like see the world, see their factories, see their warehouses. Right, is a very key because the like lot of time we have to break our pre-assumption how things happen in India, and
Oh.
that is very key. Like because if we imagine the world from India lens, the problem become 100 times tougher to solve, and that prevent
Mm.
us going after it, right? So if you travel around, you understand the system across the world, you get more confident overall, is I could say.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like how you follow different founders, you get different perspectives on how you build a robot. It's the same way, I guess. The more you travel, the more your perspective changes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And for people who want to try your robot foods before purchasing them, like where can they come and try?
So currently we are in Bangalore where we
Mhm.
do the demos. We starting off the demos across the all other cities also. But most of
Mhm.
time what happens, our customers spread the word and that's why we get orders. So we have not expanded our demo capability beyond Bangalore right now.
Okay, so there's no way we can order Nosh food.
No, not right now.
Not yet, not yet. You're
Yeah.
like it's only exclusive for our premium who are like helping you build this initial phase of robot, I guess.
To some extent, but see, we want to build it. At right time, we will build the
Of
infrastructure so
course.
that everyone can try the food.
Hmm.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
focusing getting the product right majorly,
Yeah, of course.
and
Yeah.
so what we believe is like sales is easy, customer experience is hard in our product. So
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
and that's why we are focusing on the customer experience and sales we are anyway getting. Right? So
Hmm. Got it. Wow, because I'm sure everyone is very interested and looking forward to eat food made out of a robot. So yeah, definitely. Great. I think this is so exciting. I'm so excited to see where you land up even like a year later from now. How many robots you would have sold, how many more, dishes you would have come up with, more capabilities like either chopping or certain more things that, we are not right even aware of.
yeah.
So yeah, I think definitely looking forward to sit down with you again sometime down the line and see where Nosh robots have gone. Have you named the robot yet? Or is it called Nosh?
Nos is the robot name. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so all the very best and definitely looking forward to seeing your journey.
Thanks, Supriya. Thanks for hosting and having the amazing conversation. Looking forward for future. Any help, any robotic founder need any help or perspective, I'm always there.
Oh, great. Good to know.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.